Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. Joe here with Twofold Gun and Armory, and I just wanted to start out this video by saying from the bottom of my heart and from Twofold Gun and Armory, thank you to all of my veterans out there that watch my channel. And even if you don't watch my channel and you're just seeing this video for the first time, thank you. Whether you're still serving in the military, active, reserves, whatever, or you're still serving in the civilian sector, fire, law enforcement, EMS, all the way down to food service, servers, bartenders. You veterans keep this country moving forward, and I thank you for that. And my company thanks you for that. So that being said, today is the fourth installment in the AR instructional series. We are going to be doing three things today. The first of which is going to be putting in the trigger guard. Now, the trigger guard, you can typically put in whenever. Some lowers already come with the trigger guard machined in. Some come blank like this that you can put in whatever trigger guard you want. However, on this particular build, we have to put it in first because the grip actually has, will actually go around the trigger guard when we put it in. So it'll sit in here like so, and once it's in there, I know this isn't correct, but once it's in there, you won't be able to access the rear of the rear openings for the roll pin, and so the trigger guard's got to be put in there first. So that being said, after that, I'll be putting in the grip and the safety selector. And the reason why we're doing both of those together is because the grip has the hole for the safety selector detent and spring that goes into this hole right here. And I will show you this again whenever I actually put this on the rifle, how it goes. But it's this hole right here, and that will go in like so. So we'll do that. And then we'll have those three pieces in, and we'll go from there. So without further ado, let's get started. So for this trigger guard, this is a very basic one. I believe it is NBS. It's a house brand for AR15 discounts, but the trigger guard is one of those things that, unless you're looking for a super rounded one for winter use and getting those, fat gloves in there, a trigger guard's a trigger guard is a trigger guard. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a drop of gun oil onto the two holes, because anywhere that you are trying to force metal onto metal, you want it lubricated so that metal doesn't get super hot, doesn't expand, and allows you to get it put in there. For this, I'm going to need your pin and indent or pin and detent install tool, and just a rubber punch mallet. Okay, so now that we have the roll pin in here like so, we're going to line up the rear part of the trigger guard just like that, and then I'm going to take this roll pin install tool. This thing comes in handy. You could actually put your roll pin in there so you're not trying to hold it, and it works flawlessly, and then sits here like so, and you can hammer it into place. Okay. So pushed a little too far. Let me see if I can get this in here. So I pushed it a little bit too far in, but that's okay because I can push it right back out. You're basically wanting it flush, just like so, to where you can get the rear of the trigger guard in here, and then it will, just like so. And now, as you can see, that trigger guard is in there. And then I'm going to take that, where is that? Here we go. Take that install tool again, and we're going to hammer it in there. So it is in there like so, and we are just going to get it to where it is flush. Put this in here like so. Just like that. Grab this brass punch real quick, and perfect. So that is in there like so, and will not come out. And then once we put the grip on, that will be completely covered up, so it will be in place. Now, to attach the front, you're just going to press in this detent right here. Let me grab this screwdriver. You're going to press in this detent right here, and it'll slide into place and lock in. So now that is there, and then anytime you need to take it out, you're just going to take a little punch and push through that, push that detent out, and it'll swing open. So the next part is to put the grip on, and we're just going to start it. This grip is just a cheap grip I got off online. Honestly, I believe it was 3D printed, but it's a super tight fit, which is okay, because you want, you obviously don't want that. You want it to be snug. You don't want it moving and being loose and jiggly while you're running and gunning. So I'm just putting it on about halfway right now, because now it's time to put in the safety selector. So the safety selector you'll want to put in at the safe indicated with the hammer down. So let me flip this over real quick. So you'll want it to safe with the hammer down, the trigger reset, because that will have the firearm in safe. And then once you put the detent spring and put the grip fully into place, it will keep it from going wherever it wants to. So when you click it over to unsafe, then it will allow you to operate it as normal. So now that is in there, you have that hole that I was talking about earlier in the grip. You actually have a corresponding hole in the lower, and the spring and detent will go in that little slot, and the grip actually holds that tension on that spring, which holds the tension on that detent, which keeps it from changing what you have it set to without you wanting it to. So we are going to place it with the pointy side down. That's the side that is going to actuate against the safety selector, and we are going to drop it right in that hole, just like so. So now you have the flat side up, and then this spring goes into the grip, and then down into that hole, and the spring end that goes into the hole will actually press up against the flat part of the detent, and it will hold it in place. I got to push it a little bit more in, so it guides it into the hole. Okay, just like so. So now you have the spring, which is pushing on the detent, which is about right there, onto the selector in safe. And now I can push the grip into place. The grip is, like I said, it's a rather tight fit, but it's a super comfortable grip. I'm glad I went with it, but I will have to kind of tap this into place. So. And as you can see, like I said earlier, this grip actually covers the back part of the trigger guard, so you can no longer access that roll pin from there. So you can still swing it open if you need to, but you won't be able to take that roll pin out, which is a good thing, because if a roll pin comes out, then that part's going to come off. So now you have the selector in place, and you can move it however you need to. This is actually rather tight fitting. I will probably have to take this and kind of work it, but there is a lot of tension on that, and I don't want anything to break. So I will be going through and trimming down that spring to give it a little bit more ease, but this is set up correctly. So your grip is on there. The last thing we have to do is put the screw up into the grip, which I'm not going to do yet because, like I said, I'm about to take this back off. But if there's too much tension on there, it gets kind of hard to change the selector. And if it's hard to change the selector, you're not gonna be able to do it as fast as you'd want to. But it does move from safe. Safe can't operate it. Fire works perfectly. Just got to get that tension off of there. So all I'm gonna do is shave off, just not much, probably about that much, the width of that spring. And what that'll do is it'll allow less tension on there, but still have the tension required to keep it from moving where you don't want it to move. So be right back. All right, so general rule of thumb, this can be a trial and error thing because you could always take length off. You can't add length on. And so to prevent you from needing to buy replacement parts little by little, like I can't express that enough. So that being said, let's see how this goes in there and see how it works. So I've got to put this back in the safe position, like so. Got detents in there. And grip going on like so. Let's see here. Yeah, see? Okay. So just with that little piece, easy peasy. So just with that little, I mean, it was so small, I don't even know where it clipped off to. But just with that little piece, now you have it to where it is very easy to change that selector, and that will allow you to obviously operate it how you want to with your thumb. So now there's no more excess tension, and we can throw that screw in. So this screw is a 3/16, and I'm just using a T-handle Allen key and putting it up in there like so, and then we can screw it into place as needed. So that screw is in there and tight. Gonna go ahead and put that storage compartment back on, and now you have your grip, trigger guard, and safety selector all in place. So last thing you want to do is put just 1 drop of oil on each side of that safety selector, because anywhere you have metal on metal, you want to kind of work it, and that works beautifully. So that is it. Thank you for joining me for the 4th installment to the AR Instructional series. The next installment will be probably in about a week or so, once the next set of parts comes in. Thank you for watching this video. If you're still here and haven't already done so, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. It's the best way to help out my channel and help me grow. If you have any questions about anything that we're doing, anything you want to see specifically, I'm open to suggestions. I learn how you learn, and that's why I'm doing this. I love what I do, and I can't wait to see you next time and make some more videos. So that being said, once again, thank you to all my veterans out there. Y'all have a happy Veterans Day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.